Hi South Coast Christian Life Groups, welcome to week 6 of the spring 2021 trimester. With Pastor Tom gone for his daughter Brittany's wedding, we had the pleasure of hearing a great message from Pastor Steve Lewandowski from Hope City Church in Kingman, Arizona this past Sunday. If you missed it, you can catch up on YouTube with our vodcast or listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. So let's jump into today's discussion. We took a break from our Acts series to learn from Pastor Steve as he shared a message called The Heart of a Servant. So Steve has a big heart for our role in the Big C church. If you're new to church, we say Big C in reference to the entire church or all Christians everywhere. It's a common Christian buzzword, but it's important to remember that we are part of something much bigger than just our community here at South Coast. His message actually really tied into our Acts series because the early church recognized the importance of the Big C church, and the roadmap that they laid out for us applies to all Christ followers everywhere. Check out this clip from Sunday's message.
Jesus says this, now that I did it, so if it's not beneath me to do this, Jesus was saying, if I can serve like this, you better believe that you were called to serve just like I did. And what Jesus was saying in this moment, what I have done for you, you should be doing for every single person who comes into your life. And it's at this point that he calls every single person that wears that label Christ follower. He said, if you are going to follow after me, guess what? You do what I do. And what does Jesus do? Jesus serves people. That's what he does. The Bible says this, that he didn't come into this world to be served, but he came to serve. And he served in all ways, but the greatest way that he ever served humanity is the Bible said that he gave his life as a ransom for many.
So there's a bigger calling in our lives, and that's what Steve is really saying. He's saying Jesus asks us to serve not only out of obedience to Christ, but so that we can be fulfilled. So our first discussion question for today is, share a time when you served someone or something else and you walked away feeling more fulfilled. Go ahead, pause the video right there. Be back with you shortly. Moving forward, Steve shared some background on what being a servant really is. In its original context, the term for servant was doulos, or bondservant. And if you didn't get to see this weekend's message, go back and watch it because this part was actually pretty cool and very interesting. So to sum it all up, usually people in that time had a debt to pay their employer, and so they would basically sign a 7-year contract to work and repay the debt. The interesting thing is that after those 7 years were up, people would oftentimes continue to work for that same employer out of the love and respect that they had for that employer. So being a servant, according to Pastor Steve, really is a lifetime commitment and something that we do out of love and respect for our master. So for our second discussion question, I'll ask this. If anything, what is holding you back from living a life or committing a lifetime of serving Christ? Go ahead, chew on that for a minute, pause the video, I'll be back with you shortly. Before we get into our last topic, check out this clip from Sunday's message.
I was a stranger and you invited me in. I needed clothes and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you came to visit me. Now watch this. The righteous will answer him, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you? Or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you as a stranger and invite you in? Or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you? And the king will reply, truly, I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. So when you came to church on a Sunday and you served in kids so other people could come in and hear the greatest news on the planet and end up giving their life to Jesus. When you give tens of thousands of dollars every year to missions and missionaries across this world, when you feed people every single week through Feed One, you did it for him. He said you did it for me. Whatever you do for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you are not doing it for them. You're actually doing it for me.
So we show the love of Christ to the world when we serve. So Steve gave us 4 statements about being a servant. A servant puts service over status. A servant puts character over comfort. A servant puts we over me. And a servant puts worship over wealth. So what I'm going to do is leave those 4 principles on the screen. Take a few moments and share with the group which of these statements is the easiest for you to live by and which one is more difficult for you, and share why. This is an opportunity for you to get real with your group in the safety of this community. So go ahead, pause the video, and take a few minutes to discuss that. I hope you had a great discussion today. The timing was really great for us to pause the Acts series for a week to learn about what God really wants for us as servants so that we can build the church. As usual, there are a few more questions on the screen for further discussion or self-study. So go out this week and be a part of the Big C Church. Live a life according to those 4 statements. That is creating an environment here at South Coast and in your life that can change the world for Christ. Have a great week. We'll see you this Sunday as we resume the series of Acts. Take care. God bless.